Welcome back. We've explored this idea of formative assessments of learning. Just to review, again, this is monitoring student learning. It's occurring during the learning process. It's activities that the students are doing. Typically low or no point value, very low risk, low stakes. I want to share a type of formative assessment of learning with you that you may or may not be familiar with. It's called a crossword puzzle or a crisscross puzzle. So we're going to do a practice crossword puzzle because I recognize that perhaps some of you are not familiar with how to do these things. So it ends up being a grid, and there are words across and there are words down. So the crosswords, here's the clue, and then you have to figure out what the word is. Walt's home state. Well, I'm from Illinois. Illinois. Oh, it works. It fits perfectly. The next one, 4 across, which is this right here, highest level of Bloom's taxonomy. You should know that. The highest level of Bloom's taxonomy is create. C-R-E-A-T-E. Perfect. 6 across. Bloom's is one of these. It's called Bloom's something of educational objectives. What is that? Bloom's taxonomy is the word. All right. What is the tissue of ours that learns? The brain. So far so good. Now for the down. Opposite of remembering. Forgetting. And it works perfectly. F-O-R-G-E-T-T-I-N-G. Fits perfectly. Lowest level of Bloom's taxonomy is, do you remember the lowest level of Bloom's taxonomy? The word is remember. And it fits perfectly over here. And then the final one, which we really haven't talked about in these videos at this point, is we need a lesson, and the answer is plan, for each of our teaching sessions. So this is called a crossword puzzle. Some people call it a crisscross puzzle. I'll get back to this in a moment, but you literally make it in a website like this. Easy to make. The question would be, what level of Bloom's taxonomy would students be working, at what level would they be working to accomplish this? They have to remember the words. They have to kind of understand the words in order to kind of link them up with the clues. Probably not working much beyond that. So a crisscross model or crisscross puzzle or crossword puzzle is really getting the students to remember and understand. So it's good for reviews. I use them very often in class. Sometimes I give them point values, sometimes I do not. Students they get invested in them. They really get invested in doing these things. If you want to make a crossword puzzle, it's very easy. You go to this website, puzzlemaker.discoveryeducation.com, follow the instructions, and again, they call it crisscross puzzle as opposed to crossword puzzle. They have many other types of puzzles there, but this one works very, very well. Again, the students really like doing them. It's a challenge to the students, but it's not a very high challenge to the students. It's a fairly low-risk challenge to the students, and they like to get them completed. A couple of other thoughts here. You want to choose, say, between 20, 25 words, picking all the way from very broad concept words in whatever the lessons are that you're using this to reinforce, all the way down to very, very detailed words. So a range of types of words. You want to triple check your spelling of the words and the clues. I guarantee you, first of all, if you misspell one of the words, the computer doesn't know any better. It just puts that, whatever that is, into the puzzle, and the complete puzzle is wrong. So you must triple check the spelling of your words and then also triple check the spelling of your clues, because I guarantee you the students will pick up if there's an error. Again, very easy to make. I strongly recommend to think about doing these. Along those lines, I have an assignment for you. You should have in your packet a crossword puzzle that relates to this pedagogical training. Encompasses the many concepts discussed in the videos. Solve the puzzle during the breaks. You can collaborate or work alone. It's entirely up to you. Some of the things that are in that puzzle we may not have talked about yet in the video series. You may not be able to fully complete it right off the bat, the puzzle, until later in the video series. And I want you to stop and think about that for a moment. When you're doing that, you get this done, maybe you've done, and I don't recall how many exactly words there are in there, but maybe you get 80% of it finished, and you either don't know the rest of it, you haven't come across it. It can be kind of frustrating because you want to finish that thing. Step back and think about how you feel, because that's exactly how your students will feel. They'll get stuck on one of the words or two of the words. That's where you come back in. For example, if you're doing this in class and the students in groups have done this or individually have done this, and they get stuck on a word, that's where you come back in and you can kind of rescue them and say, oh, that word is this. That clue means this word. Or go back and review a little bit on that. So think about how you feel when you cannot complete this. That's exactly how your students are going to feel. So try to get this assignment started soon.